I'm not talking.
You were not asked.
Adira, or just Whisper, or Tatiana, despite appearing very little in comics, has been around, going from a Batman villain to a Black Adam villain to a Vixen villain, and most recently a Batwoman villain. Whisper made her first appearance in Detective Comics issue 743 in the year 2000, where she continued to appear up until Detective Comics issue 746. Appearing in a total of Gotham's underground growing, Ra's al Ghul is tired of Batman's code to not kill. Therefore, he sends Whisper and her partner Kyle Abbot, who's a shapeshifter, to bring true justice to Gotham City, as in murder all the gangs. Whisper will be given a form of a lazarus pit, which would make her temporarily immortal, while at the same time making her body more snake-like, even shedding her own skin, kind of like Viper from the Wolverine movie. Whisper's plan to turn all the gangs of Gotham against each other in order to get them to kill one another, which, in my opinion, doesn't really make much sense because all the gangs are already against each other. So therefore, she kind of, her plan kind of contradicts the reason why she's there. Anyways, but she knows Batman will get in the way, so she decides to distract Bruce Wayne while at a gala, because Bruce Wayne is always at a gala, while her partner takes care of the gangs. She'd end up making her own small gang using the same serum that made her snake-like to make them part animal, including her own partner, who's now been demoted to her bodyguard. She'd appear in 52 issue 11, where Batman goes out to find her, hoping he can convince her to leave Ra's al Ghul's forces, because for some unknown reason, Batman is convinced that there's good in Whisper, which is odd because she only flirted with him in order to murder people. But she refuses this before disappearing into the night. This all ends her time as a Batman villain and as a member of the League of Assassins. She returned in 52 issue 23 in 2006, where she left the League of Assassins and was now a member of the Superman terrorist villain group Intergang. Although why she joined wasn't explained, it happened off-panel. This is also the first appearance of Kate Kane Batwoman, not to be confused with Kathy Kane. She'll be part of the Intergang group who goes up against Black Adam, now swapping from Batman to Black Adam. And that would be it for a little while. In the 52 comics, she would just be an ongoing member of Intergang. She would return in the 2009 Vixen solo miniseries as a member of Intergang that Vixen goes against this time, which means she has gone from Batman to Black Adam to Vixen, all within 9 years, of which she only appeared in 15 issues. Her transition from being a member of the League of Assassins and Intergang is very random and is never explained. She doesn't ever explain why she left the League of Assassins, because when she popped up in 52, she seemingly was very loyal to Ra's al Ghul and was very trusted by Ra's al Ghul, to the fact that he trusted her with the Lazarus Pit. Something he doesn't even do with Talia al Ghul. But then she decides to leave and join a Superman villain group, and which is also weird because Intergang, unlike the League of Assassins, which is very much a time period type group of like assassins, Intergang is a gang of people with technology from alien planets, mostly Apocalypse. So that's a very different career choice. Also be seen briefly in the Forever Evil issue 1 as one of the many villains, and that was it for her in comics. And it kind of seems like they didn't know what to do with her, because she constantly just moved around. She went from a Batman villain, then quitting the League of Assassins, to a Black Adam villain, if you consider him a hero at the time, which I guess he kind of was. And if you also consider the fact that since she was a part of Intergang, she most likely had faced against Superman at one point, meaning she technically has fought Superman too, and then moved on to Vixen. Also, another note that I wanted to mention that has nothing to do with this video is the fact that the Vixen comic was really random with some of the villains. Like Ocean Master, who's an Aquaman villain, Intergang, which are Superman villains, and Gorilla Grodd, who's a Flash villain, all played major roles in the Vixen comic. I just thought that was a little weird, that she was borrowing so heavily from her fellow Leaguer's villain gallery. Although, to be fair, when it comes to Whisper, she doesn't really have a direct hero she's fighting, because she doesn't even seem to be a Batman villain when she first appears. She just seems to be a Ra's al Ghul minion, which gains more respect from Ra's al Ghul, meaning she is given more important tasks, which includes fighting Batman. She doesn't have an actual motivation. She just does it because Ra's al Ghul tells her to. And it's unclear why then she decides to quit the League of Assassins only to be a part of Intergang. And it is confirmed she quits. She doesn't get thrown out because she went off orders. She 100% quit. We also see after her going against Ra's al Ghul's orders, she was still part of the League. It wasn't until after Batman tried to convince her to leave, which she seems very content on staying in the League, that we see that she quits and joins the Intergang. It's just very messy and doesn't really explain why that was the case. Why did she want to join Intergang? Did she want a new career path, or did she just decide to do it on a whim? Either way, it's very confusing. She would appear in adaptations, though. One version of her is more close to her character when she was part of Intergang, while another version of her character is more close to her counterpart when she was part of Ra's al Ghul's forces. To appear in the upcoming Black Adam movie, if that isn't canceled like the Batgirl movie is. Which, yeah, I know is unlikely because, they filmed the entire movie, but they also filmed the entire Batgirl movie. So, at this moment in time, I wouldn't be surprised if Black Adam got canceled. Adaptations that she has already appeared in and that aren't up and coming. She would appear in certain seasons of Young Justice, where she was a member of Intergang, who went up against Superboy and Blue Beetle, only for Black Beetle to seemingly kill her. But it would be later be revealed that she did survive when she popped up again in the third season, alive and well. It will also bring in their own version of Tatiana, who was an amalgamation of both Tatiana and Sophia Sohail's bodyguard Knight from the comics. Tatiana was the right-hand woman of Sophia Sohail, not Ra's al Ghul, who had grown jealous over time having a crush on her queen. But she didn't love her back. Instead, Sophia loves Alice. So Tatiana's response would kill Alice's entire gang, which is very much like her seeing her first appearance from the Batman comics. She would also later on kill Alice's boyfriend, Ocean, only for Alice to end up killing her with a butterfly knife. And that's it. Personally, I like her character in adaptations more than I do in comics, and due to her presence in multiple characters' major stories, she's been popping up in more than you'd expect. For example, if they were ever to make a Vixen movie, she'd probably be in it, since how heavily present she was in Vixen's only solo series that took place in mainstream comics. Yes, I know there's a webisode comic of Vixen, but that's not mainstream comics. And personally, I thought that comic made some decisions that, in my opinion, were interesting. Well, it also has a lot of things in it that I really like, but some questionable things, like, for example, Beast Boy being aged up to Vixen's age to be her boyfriend, I thought was, in my opinion, a little weird. I would have swapped out Beast Boy for maybe Animal Man, because Animal Man and Vixen are at least the same age in mainstream comics, because Vixen in mainstream comics is an adult and Beast Boy is a kid. So I wasn't a big fan of that, even though I know in that comic they were both aged either down or up to be around the same character's age. Either way, that's the end of Tatiana, or the Whisperer. Not Whisper, her name is Whisper, not Whisperer. I keep on trying to call her the Whisperer, but that's not her name. Her name is Whisper. No And that's it for her. Did you like her? Do you not like her? What do you think about her? Personally, I wouldn't be upset to see her again, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. If she does pop up again, I personally think her incarnation of her being a member of the League of Assassins is a little more interesting, because we get to see more insight of Ra's al Ghul's whole situation. Meanwhile, I think when she's a part of Intergang, it kind of, like I said, doesn't transition well from being a member of League of Assassins to Intergang, and you're just there thinking, why is she a member of this group? It just doesn't make sense. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.